Just over 2 months remain before Samsung's expected Unpacked event, where the Galaxy S26 lineup is likely to make its official debut. Yet, unlike previous years, the upcoming flagship series remains full of mystery and confusion. Despite numerous leaks, major details about the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra are still uncertain, and recent reports suggest Samsung is making last-minute design adjustments that are keeping everyone guessing. Let's start with what's currently known. According to the well-known leaker Ice Universe, also known as Universes or Phonyart on X, the standard Galaxy S26 will measure 149.4 x 71.5 x 6.9 millimeters. That would make it 0.3 millimeters thinner, 2.5 millimeters taller, and 1 millimeter wider than the Galaxy S25. These subtle adjustments indicate that Samsung might be refining the design to make it slightly taller and sleeker while retaining the same overall footprint. But that's not the only leak making headlines. Another trusted source, Steve Hemmerstoffer, also known as OnLeaks, along with Android headlines, reports a completely different set of measurements. Their information claims the Galaxy S26 will measure 149.5 x 71.6 x 7.2 millimeters, which is noticeably thicker than what Ice Universe suggested. Now, this may not seem like a big deal at first glance. After all, the height and width differences are minimal. However, the change in thickness from 6.9 millimeters to 7.2 millimeters is quite significant. That extra thickness could mean Samsung has modified its design plans recently, possibly to accommodate a larger battery or enhanced cooling system. According to Android headlines, Samsung revised the original design, increasing the thickness from the previously planned 6.96 millimeters. This change may also affect the camera bump, increasing it slightly from 10.3 millimeters to 10.44 millimeters. That might not sound dramatic, but in a device where every fraction of a millimeter matters, it could alter both the aesthetics and the feel of the phone. Still, there's a twist. Ice Universe insists that his dimensions are official and accurate. In other words, he's confident that Samsung hasn't made such changes, while OnLeaks believes the thicker version is final. So the truth remains unclear, and the only way to know for sure will be when Samsung reveals the phones officially in January or February 2026 for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The situation seems slightly more stable. The reported measurements, 163.6 x 78.1 x 7.9 millimeters, haven't been disputed yet. However, if Samsung really is tweaking the standard S26, it wouldn't be surprising to see similar adjustments made to the Ultra model as well. After all, last-minute refinements are often applied across the entire lineup. Interestingly, this move marks a shift away from the ultra-thin smartphone trend that both Apple and Samsung were pushing just a few months ago. Both companies spent a lot of effort promoting their slim devices, such as the Galaxy S25 Edge and the iPhone Air, as the future of smartphone design. But things haven't exactly gone as planned. Reports suggest the Galaxy S26 Edge has either been cancelled or delayed, and the S25 Edge itself is not performing well in the market. Even Apple's then iPhone Air is reportedly struggling to capture attention. This trend might explain why Samsung is suddenly leaning towards slightly thicker phones again. A little extra thickness could mean a more durable frame, better cooling, and most importantly, a bigger battery. The Galaxy S25 featured a 4000 mAh battery, which lagged behind competitors like Google's Pixel 10, offering nearly 5000 mAh. If Samsung uses the added space to improve battery life, many users would welcome that change, even if it means the phone feels a bit bulkier. In fact, many tech fans agree that they would prefer a thicker phone with longer battery life rather than a razor-thin one that dies quickly. So Samsung's rumored last-minute change could actually be a smart decision if it results in better endurance and usability. Of course, it's not just about battery life. These changes could also hint at camera improvements. A slightly thicker frame allows more room for upgraded camera sensors and image stabilization hardware, something that could make the Galaxy S26 and S26 Ultra even more powerful in photography. So, should fans be excited or worried about these last-minute changes? The answer probably lies somewhere in between. It's not necessarily about big redesigns or dramatic new features, but rather about refinements and improvements that make the S26 lineup more balanced overall. After all, Not every generation needs a revolutionary change. Sometimes what really matters is comfort, reliability, and performance. And if Samsung is truly taking extra time to fine-tune those details before launch, that might be a good sign. At this stage, the Galaxy S26 series still feels unpredictable, which is unusual for Samsung this close to launch. Normally, by now, almost every detail would be clear. But this time, there's an element of surprise. Between the conflicting leaks from Ice Universe and OnLeaks, the uncertainty about dimensions, and the possibility of last-minute tweaks, the Galaxy S26 and S26 Ultra remain surrounded by mystery. Whether that mystery will lead to disappointment or excitement is something only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Samsung's upcoming flagship phones have successfully kept everyone talking, guessing, and waiting eagerly for their big reveal. For now, all eyes remain on the rumored January or February 2026 Unpacked event, where the truth behind these measurements and Samsung's final design choices will finally come to light. Until then, the Galaxy S26 series continues to be one of the most intriguing smartphone stories of the year.